What's up, everybody out there? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by over here, Pippin Love View. I appreciate it so much. As I've said before, and I will continue to say, thank you so much for liking the page, sharing, subscribing, leaving comments, on and on and on and on. Thank you so much, because I promise you, I definitely could not do it, could not be here if it wasn't for you. And I'm telling you, thank you so much. And I sincerely hope that you feel the sincerity that is coming from me, because I really truly do mean it. Thank you so much. Well, I have always had a discussion about Monique when all of this hoopla, if you will, started, for probably lack of a better term. But it is what it is. And whenever I would speak to someone about it, or let's just say the topic came up, I was always rooting for Monique, and I still am. I don't think, to me, what I like most about Monique in all of this, I really do. What I like most about her is that she is determined. And not only is she determined, but she is definitely not allowing you guys to put her in that angry black woman category. That's another thing I like about her. And it seems as if you are a person who stands up for yourself, and you know what we mean, a person, then it looks at like, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you stand up for yourself? Like, I'm the one who's supposed to tell you what to do. I call the shots. We've been there. Let's just be honest. We've been there, and I don't think we're being honest with it. We've had family members who have tried to rule with an iron fist. We probably have had parents or guardians who've tried to rule us with an iron fist. We have had supervisors who tried to rule with an iron fist. And for the most part, everybody knew that it was some rough handling, and it was more like, oh man, that's how he is, or that's how she is, you just got to overlook it. That's what I do. I just continue to do what I do. I put my head down. Or when I see that he or she is in this particular mood, I just stay out the way. We do that, don't we? And so what ends up happening is, of course, is that things continue to go on as usual or as normal. So that's what I like about it. I like the fact that she's saying, no, I'm not dealing with anything that I feel like is a backhanded compliment, or this is what I have always thought. And I could be wrong. It's what I'm taking out of the Monique's story, for me personally. Whenever I see something like this, I always try my best to take the good out of it and see what is in her story or someone's story that I can use. It's not something that I'm using like trying to put someone down. And I think that's what we're missing so much in this Monique story. Like, we are missing the lessons. And so many times we think that it's the person who has the lesson to learn. And what I mean by have the lesson to learn is like, oh, well, you have a hard lesson to learn. Like, let me teach you a lesson. I don't think that that's what we should be getting out of this. Not at all. So allow me to explain to you kind of like what I've taken from this for me, just for me personally, right? It's not a diss to anyone. It really isn't. And who knows, never mind. Let me just hush. When this first happened, and when I was listening to all that was going on, I'm just going to chop it up in segments because I don't have the whole thing. And that's not even, an issue. It sounds like to me, Monique has always said, and this is how I understood it. Someone came to me and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this? This is how much is going to be paid to do it. There was a meeting of the mind somewhere. She did it and she called it a day. All right, my brother. Much success to the both of us. That was it. Then it sounds like she's saying, well, we need to do X, Y, and Z because now this movie or this project, I would say, is getting some traction. It's getting some traction. Like we really need to go out here like that. It really and truly looks like this thing could set all of us up. Oh, well, okay. Well, if that's how you feel about it, but I've done my part. And the part that I've done was you paid me to be a part of this project. I was in anybody else's world. It is what it is. I'm done. If you would like for me to continue to do this, then this is what we need to do in order to make it. Well, how about we put it this way? There probably needs to be a new contract. How about that? And what I mean by a new contract, in my eyes, and I'm talking about my eyes, if it was me, I would have, as a friend, said, you know what, Monique, I understand your position about that. And we got a hard, we don't have the kind of budget that we had to make the movie. And you already know, we didn't pay you what we could have paid you. And you did us a big favor and we appreciate that. But let me go check and see. Let's see what I can come up with in order to make sure that we can make those arrangements clear. See, for a person such as myself, I think, because she was definitely sincere about it, and I think for me, if Monique had came to me and approached me like that, I think I would have had, the mind frame to say, hey, she did do this for me, and I don't have any money, probably in order to get her to the point where she feels comfortable promoting it. And if someone came to me and told me, about, well, let's get her to promote it, I would be like, she's done her part. I think we can really and truly still do this without including her, but appreciating her at the same time because she is the person in the movie who is pretty much like a lead in the movie. So I think we can appreciate her still, and it can still all be about Monique, right? Because it's her. She's in the movie. That's my mind frame. So to make sure people understand where I'm going with this, I'm basically saying is that there should have been another contract. It should have been. It should have been another contract, one that would say, all right, well, if we're about to take this thing off and run with it because other people have gotten involved in it and look like it's going to be good, then let me throw you something. I hate to say throw it something, but let me give you something, for right now to make it comparable. And in my mind, here's what I'm saying. This is just me. I'm talking about out loud. Whatever I paid her in order to do the movie is probably what I would have suggested. Say, well, we paid you this much. If we paid you this amount, the same amount, would that be feasible? Whatever the case may be, I'm saying that there should have been another contract. That's pretty much what I'm getting to, because she fulfilled her obligation. I really and truly do believe that. Now, here's the thing. Most people would say, well, most people who do movies or projects or things like that, don't they automatically go out and promote their projects? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But here's what I'm saying. If she's holding to her end of the bargain, I think you should as well. Why am I saying that? Because, see, we're missing something. I want to make sure people understand that this here, for me, is not business as usual. For me. I'm not saying this is Monique's perspective. I'm not saying these are the other people involved perspective. I'm talking about me, what I get out of it. This here is not business as usual. For me, I have always gotten out of the Monique story is that it's one about keeping your word. That's how I felt about it. And I continue to tell everybody about this for on my end. Keep your word. I kept mine. I'm available. But here's what I have to do next. We didn't make that deal, though. That's not the deal we made. Because if I understood that I was going to do more than that, brother, I love you, but I probably would have said I needed more money. See, I'm doing it for you because, let me just not beat around the bush. I'm Monique. And if you feel like this is about to do something, I'm with you, but this is what I'm going to need in order to make that possible. So now we're stuck. We're stuck between keeping your word, and we're stuck between what some would say is business as usual. That's how I see it. Your word. And see, for a person such as myself, I would say, I got you. I understand. That's my word. Now, for a person such as myself, I would have said, well, I understand. Can I at least pay your expenses to get there? I probably can't pay you, what I paid you. I'm just talking out loud. Budgets tapped out, this, that, and the other. I don't have anymore. I'm talking about my relationship with the person I made a deal with. I'm saying if I didn't have the money to pay her what I paid her because the budget's gone. I understand these new people are involved in it. But I would have said, well, I understand. I get how you feel, but here's what I'm willing to do. I will pay for the expenses to get you there, whatever you need, so on and so forth. I promise you, sister, I'll hook you up the best way that I can. And this is going to be beneficial for all of us. Or I tell you what, the big ticket stuff, and what I mean by the big ticket stuff, the things that I know that I would like for you to be a part of, like wherever we're going to make this, like you probably can't attend every event, but the main events, how about if I make sure that I get you there? That's all I'm saying. However they work that out. But here's what I'm thinking. Since that didn't happen or something didn't happen, we understand that. No need to rehash that old story. And everything went the way it went. I still side with Monique, and it's not for popularity. I'm talking about the lesson that is learned for me in this, and that is I'm going to have to make sure, I promise you, you got to keep your word for me. Your word to me, you said it, and I'm going to hold you accountable for everything you said to me. That's what I like so much about this story, because I know for me, it has been kind of difficult for me in previous years to do that. Now it is what it is. I'll be like, that's what you said. Now it doesn't matter if I kick and scream about it, but you told me. And no, your word. Keep your word. That's what you said. And I'm holding you accountable for what you said to me. So now here we have the day of the event. She receives it. And this is where I feel like all heck break loose. Because now it's no longer Monique saying to someone, keep your word, right? See, I don't know. Don't have all the inside track. Don't know anybody in this story, any whatsoever. I don't know all the details. I can only tell you about what I've seen. And that when she showed up and she received it, it's another thing where I'm holding you accountable. I have it now. And these are the terms that comes with it. And so now it goes from her holding maybe a cohort or business partner accountable. But now it goes to, hey, I have it now. I told you guys I really don't care about all of this, but I have it now. You told me X, Y, and Z would come with it. And now I need to see the X, the Y, and the Z. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do you guys remember? You probably don't if you're a particular age. You probably don't. But if you've ever followed Oprah Winfrey's career, ever, I'm talking about from, the early when she first started the Oprah Winfrey Show, not the Chicago show. I'm talking about the national show, whatever. And she started it. There's a point in time in Oprah Winfrey's career where Oprah Winfrey says that she went to the bank. Oh, wow. I don't know why this is popping up in my head. But Oprah Winfrey says she went to the bank and she wanted to see the $1 million. I think it was $1 million, however much money it was. But Oprah was, I think it was $25 or $50 million. I do. Now that I think about it, it was either $25 or $50 million. And Oprah Winfrey said she went to the bank. Now, if it's a lie, is what it is. But let me go ahead on right now for the sake of argument to put the alleged button down here. Everything from here on out is alleged. She went, and I don't know. I think they showed it to her. I think the bank showed her so much money, because I think she said at one point in time she had it under her mattress or something like that. That's in the Oprah Winfrey story as far as when she finally started to make big money. Isn't Monique doing the same thing? Isn't Monique pretty much saying, show me the money? I know it's there. Now I want to see it. Don't tell me it's there. So the same thing with Oprah Winfrey going to the bank to say, hey, I need to see this money that I know that I have. Now she sees it. She feels what? Pleased. She feels relieved. She feels satisfied. She feels okay. She feels good about herself, so on and so forth. Some people, the bank kept their promise as far as, hey, the money is there. This is the same thing with Monique, I feel. What I'm getting out of it. Keep your word to me. And so she receives the award, and there are perks, right, that comes with it. There are perks. There are trinkets, all kinds of things that comes with this award. And let's just say she's no longer receiving them, or it's being difficult to receive them. Why? Because now she is being labeled as the difficult one of them all. And I'm wondering in myself is how is she so difficult, though? See, it's difficult. Isn't it interesting that we go about our lives and we allow people to, do the bells and do the whistles in our lives? We do. Make promises that they can't keep. See, to me, I don't know why. I promise y'all, I don't have a direction for this at all, but this is what's coming to me. It's kind of like Monique would be Dorothy in The Wiz or The Wizard of Oz, right? Well, no, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. And it's kind of like all of a sudden we're looking and we're seeing that, wait a minute, I'm coming because I was told you can X, Y, and Z. And when I get there, you can't make good on it. You can't make good on this. So I tell you what, Toto, you go on behind that curtain and you bite the Wiz. You bite them now. Get them good. We pulling down curtains and everything. All because you rather do all of this wonderful, fantastic hocus pocus, and you have the means and the wherewithal to make it good, and you still refuse to. But of course, we know the Wiz or the Wiz and the Wizard of Oz couldn't do that, but still. She done pulled the curtain. And this is what I never ever got about this story as it plays out. That guy, that director that she worked with originally, didn't he flat out say on TV that she was blackballed? In so many words, he said, well, yeah, it happened. And we're looking like, you're not supposed to do that. Like, this is, sorry, I can't take this. I'm looking like, did he just say, like, and everybody is going around cheering because we have had the fairy dust. And no one is saying he said it. Like, how is it that she is being held accountable for her holding people accountable, but the people who not only made the promise but can make good on the promise are not being held accountable? Okay, I'm just saying now it's getting good now because that's what we do over here. We think out loud, like it's like a dialogue. We having a conversation over here. So then my thing is that just because these individuals, and I'm saying these individuals, everybody else in the story is going along with the flow. La, 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 la. You know what I'm saying? We're off to see the wizard. Like, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We're off to see him like everybody has got all this hocus pocus going on. And they're falling for it. Oh, I didn't mean to go this direction. So it bothers me. It bothers me that there are not enough people who are siding with Monique, and you don't see this. Now, maybe there are some other things that are involved with this story, but we're talking about the relationship between two individuals who said, let's keep our words, or do this, do that. Did you do this? Yes, I did that. Now it's your turn to do this. Okay, it's my turn. Then you get to renege. So she gets it. She's blackballed. That's what everybody is saying it. Everybody agrees. She was blackballed. Don't people go to court? Like, that's not legal. It might be a secret that's kept. Somebody might pick up the phone and say, oh, don't work with this one. But the person who is being accused of doing the blackballing is the person that says, yeah, I did it, or it happened. Like, how are we not getting this? Like, I'm still trying to figure out how is it that Monique is the bad one for speaking up for herself. And this here is not me siding with Monique. It's not. This is me looking at this story for what I see that it is. Okay, here's a prime example. I can't think of her name. I really can't think of the latest name, but the new Wonder Woman. I can't think of her name. Let's use her story for an example. We all know, big Wonder Woman fan, love Linda Carter. I was looking for Wonder Woman to come out since I can remember, like in the movie form. I saw that they was trying their best to get it started, so on and so forth. It never really happened. It finally happens. I don't know how much they paid that lady, but I think they paid the lady who is in Wonder Woman now little or nothing to be in the first movie. Well, that movie takes off, makes a lot of money and everything. Like, it puts the Wonder Woman brand back on the map. Everything's wonderful. Everything's good. Let's just say everything that the lady in, I'm sorry, let me find out who her name is. Just because I don't know her name. I know her of her, but I can't think of the lady's name. That's why I want to know her name and not do her any injustice. Oh, what's the new Wonder Woman name? Well, as I'm looking for it, but she does everything that she's supposed to do for the movie, right? She does. Anyway, long story short, short story long. She ends up becoming pretty much a talk for the most part because people were saying that she was lowballed herself. Ooh, I cannot pronounce that lady's name. Is it Gail? Gap? Yeah, that lady, because I can't pronounce that name. I found it, but I can't pronounce it. But anyway, so they were like saying, well, hey, this is it was a great movie. This is going to be a great franchise, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead on. And she's going to get her money on the next movie. So she's for sure going to get about $25 million on that next movie. The first Wonder Woman did well. This here is pretty much where we're in conflict with, right? Because that first lady, Wonder Woman, she didn't get paid like that. But now she's continuing to show up, and I'm pretty sure she's getting her money. I'm pretty sure she's getting some money. But we're going to fault her for not going with the flow? Do you understand where I'm trying to go with this? And there is nothing about all of this to me that says you can't change the rules. What rules? Because we're talking about things as people would say, oh, but this is industry standard. And that person's deal does not have to be my deal. I didn't star in the new Wonder Woman. I'm not the new Wonder Woman. I'm starring in a movie that you did that you both of us acknowledged you were not able to pay me for. And if you want to look at the fact that Monique did individuals a favor, she can't say that. She's not high-minded to think that she did someone a favor. How many people, and I'm just asking, in Hollywood who do projects and they move on from these projects, and let's just say something does happen with the project where, it's getting some traction, so on and so forth, maybe 6 months to 2 or 3 years later, what do you want me to do with that? So no, I'm glad I gave you those two examples, because these two examples, although they probably make sense, they don't make sense. One went with the flow. The new Wonder Woman, she didn't get paid pennies from my understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have gotten paid more. But I'm pretty sure whatever the new Wonder Woman got paid, she got paid more than Monique did in the movie she starred in. Okay, so what? The new Wonder Woman went out and promoted the new movie. The movie that she was in, and didn't get anything because it was business as usual. Do you fault her? I wouldn't. You know what I would have done in that case, like we did with so many people, say, well, what is she asking for? When she asked for this, that, and other. When that doesn't sound like it's difficult. Well, are we, I would have been like, well, aren't we campaigning for, to get awards and to make this movie great, so on and so forth? Well, yeah, we're doing that. Well, aren't we going to make our money back? And we're going to make our money back, right? I mean, we got some big wigs over here now, right? Don't we? We're going to make our money back. Mm-hmm. We're banking on her. We need her. Obviously, we're going to annex her again. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this here, and I know it can almost look like I could be going down the path of nickel and diamond, right? Well, some of you will probably say, well, how much is enough then? Because once they do this, what about next time? Well, that's why it's a whole new deal. Y'all want her to promote it? And the contract, what did it say in the contract? Oh, I know. I'm supposed to hold up my end of the bargain because it's industry standard now. It's not in the contract. Industry standard is not in the contract. It's not in our contract. So again, she gets the award. Some people publicly says that she was blackballed. Some people who she has disagreements with. Now, I had another take on this, but as I'm talking about this now, I'm saying to myself, like, well, it depends on who you're going to be upset with now. Well, what do you mean? Because at first I was like, when it first came out, this is just me, I'm talking, we having a conversation. All right, we back and forth, it's just a conversation. I don't know everything, so I'm counting on you to let me know. So at first I was telling everybody, saying to some people, I was like, well, you know what? I can see her being mad at Lee Daniels. I can see her being mad at him. Or there's some tension in the relationship. I can see her being mad at Oprah Winfrey. I can see her being mad at Tyler Perry. And now let me take that back because now I'm talking about being mad. Let me change that because, as I said before, and I apologize for that because this is not the story. This is not the diary of an angry Black woman. That's not what this is. It's not. Not when you look at it, let's just say for the surface or even a layer 2 or 3 or 4 down. This is not the story of an angry Black woman. I think that this is the story of you're going to keep your word. That's how it first starts out. So now you have some people who, like, how dare you? Because again, you're talking about keeping your word, keeping your promises. And let's just say, listen, hey, where did this come from? And I don't mean this disrespectful. I'm talking like, where did this, what? Stand up to, what? How dare she? Now everybody on the plantation. I'm sorry. But seriously, everybody on the plantation is like, oh, no, I ain't say it. I don't agree with him. I'm good over here. I'm good, thank you. The food is good. I like the couch. You are so good. You are definitely a wonderful, great leader, supervisor. You delegate responsibility well. I like everything that you do. Yes, I do. Yes, I like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll be at work 8:30 sharp. Matter of fact, I tell you what, I won't even be at work at 8:30 sharp. You know, I'm gonna be there an hour early because I got some other things that I need to do that I didn't get done yesterday. So I need another hour. So I'm gonna give myself that extra. See, everybody is like, oh no, we can't do it. No, we ain't gonna do that. In the Monique story. I mean, seriously. No, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about just regular Joes working our regular 9 to 5s. If you have not experienced a Monique story, then I don't know what's wrong. You got somebody somewhere that, see, this is kind of like, ooh, thank you. I don't know why I'm going in this direction, but it's good. I like it. It's kind of like I'm going to give you a prime example. Y'all ready? Y'all going to learn something. Have you ever been hired for a job? Have you ever been hired for a job? And you go on that job and they give you paperwork and you sign your paperwork, blah, blah, blah. You sign it. You feeling good. You sign like, oh yeah. You look at how much money and the benefits and you just signing your papers. And you're like, good. Like there are some documents, you know, that you pretty much don't pay any attention to, but you know that every job has them. You know, you sign them like maybe like your, your W-2 forms and all that stuff. Things like that. And they tell you all it is what it is. And then here is where I'm going. But then you get to that handbook, that company handbook. See, this is what y'all don't understand about that company handbook. And I keep trying to tell people about the company handbook over and over again. When you sign your name on the dotted line of your job and they give you that handbook, it is a binding contract. Yes, it is. And people don't understand that. In that handbook, it has all of the things that job is responsible for as it relates to you and what you are responsible for as it relates to the job. It's a handbook. It is a legal binding document that a lot of you all don't read. You don't. So when stuff starts to hit the fan and they're calling you in to a meeting, sitting you at the table, a person such as myself, you know what I do? I just sit back. I don't say anything anymore. I read the handbook. She read the contract. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, that's why I just don't understand why people are not listening to logic. Like y'all got this hocus pocus going on and nobody's reading the manual. Her contract, your handbook is all the same. So if they ask you to do something, oh man, I need this job. Well, hold on. What does the handbook say? And I'm not asking you guys to go to your jobs and say, oh, this is what the handbook say. Now, you got to be very mindful how you do that stuff. What I'm telling you is that at the end of the day, you should read your handbook. Have you ever noticed that some people get out of certain things that some other people don't? And you always wonder, well, how they get out of that? They have the handbook. They have the handbook. They understand policies and procedures. They understand policy and procedures. They understand that I signed this. This is your handbook. I wasn't there to make the handbook. Your company made the handbook, which means you're responsible for this. And I don't care what else you give me outside that handbook. You better make sure that you hold up your end of the bargain when it comes to that handbook. And if you make any changes, you better put it in the handbook. Because I ain't signing nothing, anything that is not in the handbook. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. See, I don't know why that came up. So we got the Wiz. She done pulled down the curtain on the Wizard. People still ain't looking. People still looking like, well, I wish I had a heart. I wish I had some courage. I wish I had a brain. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to go there like that, but you know. Mm-hmm. And Dorothy is saying, I don't care what you got. You told me you could, Wiz. You better get me there. You better make good on what you told me, Wiz. Don't come here now and all of a sudden try to talk me down and out of it. Come on, Wiz. So you better make good on that promise that you told me, the word that you told me. So now here you have Monique. This is getting good. I like this. So now you have Monique. They done said what they said, and now everybody is coming for Monique in a roundabout sort of way. Now, this is the part of the story I know all too well. And for those of you who wanted to know, was there life after the pain? Well, let me tell you about this. This is what I don't like when it comes to the Monique story. You know what I'm saying? When I say story, I'm talking about what I'm gathering in the lessons that I'm learning from her story. I know what it's like, personally, to have people to target you and to say things about you, or about your character, about your work ethic, about a whole lot of things. And they purposely shoot out darts towards you that are offensive, that hurt, ridicule, belittle. They do. And they do that why? Because they know my sister friend over here is going to say something. And what does the devil do? Oh, the devil is an accuser of the brethren. Even though we know our Lord and Savior says no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises rises up against you in judgment shall be condemned. But we know the devil is an accuser of the brethren. And that's the part about the story that I'm seeing now are the fiery darts that are being thrown. The backhanded comments, as she says, or are you difficult, or this, that, and the other, right? It's kind of like, oh, I watch me do it now. You did it yesterday, I'm gonna do it today. Yeah, get it. Yeah, you ready to shoot out your dart? I'm gonna get it. Oh, and now you respond, and it's kind of like, aha, see, that's it. I see it now. She's angry. You see that? You see, she's difficult. You see that? See, I know that story all too well. I've seen it in my own life. Somebody, somewhere, I was somewhere, was it Toni Morrison? Who was that? Oh, hold on, y'all. I'm looking for a quote. No, it wasn't Toni Morrison. It was Zora Neale Hurston. Oh, it was Zora Neale Hurston. Oh, I wish I could pull it up. I probably try to take it and pull it up and show it. But Zora Neale Hurston, I don't know why I don't know how this stuff coming to me. But Zora Neale Hurston said this, or has been quoted as saying, if you are silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say you enjoyed it. Oh, say it one more time. If you are silent about your pain, let's just say they would take you out of here and say you enjoyed it. How about that? Wow. This here is getting deep for me. I don't know about if it's getting deep for you, but like I said, I mean, this is just how I see it, in my own personal life. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm saying that this is what I get from this story of Monique and all the people involved. She gets the Oscar and she says, pay me. Next project coming along, pay me. Now, here is where it gets all so interesting, isn't it? So now I have it. See, we know that these award shows have been exposed. Someone told me a couple of days ago, or put in a comment, they said, and this is true, like it's just what it is, I know it's alleged, but I'm going back to Toni Braxton. If you remember Toni Braxton in the early part of her career, when she filed for bankruptcy, she said on the Oprah Winfrey Show, when Oprah was talking to her about that China, and Oprah was like, even I don't have Gucci silverware. Well, Toni said, well, I can't even, I have to auction off my things, and I can't auction even off the Grammys because I have to get permission from the Grammys because, they're not mine. They belong to the Grammys. So I have to get permission from them. You gave me an award that I have to have permission from you to do what I need to do with them. Mm-hmm. And then someone comes in my comment now. I don't know if this is true or false. It's just what it is, saying someone allegedly paid, they pay for the Grammys now, the Grammy Awards. I don't know about that, but from my understanding, I think your record company has to make sure that you are considered for the Grammys. Like, you just can't come up in the Grammys, come up on the Grammy, ticket or whatever you want to call it, thinking that you're going to be nominated when your record company did not do the things they needed to do in order to get you there, to get you acknowledged for the award or you're nominated. So here, ooh, I love this one. This is the part I guess I'm going to love. So here it is. Monique is saying, I have it. I have it. It's what it is. I have it. So you mean to tell me you gave me this and you still not going to make good? I dealt with all of this. I have it. What was that number you quoted me again? And if that's the number you quoted me, then that's what my expectations are. Oh, so now you get to cut that too. And see, this is another part of the story I don't understand why people don't get. It went from it's a story continuously about accountability, keeping your word to me. That's how I feel like it. And so now here we have it, that we're moving through this story. And now what has been, I guess what you want to call promised, not promised, expected. Oh, what the industry standard, right? No, industry standard, but that doesn't apply to you. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, you're difficult, and nobody, no. Nobody what? No. We ain't work with you. Oh, so now you don't even want to have what? Oh, so now you want to play hardball. Oh. Oh, so I'm supposed to just take the money, take the award, and leave. Like, go on off into the sunset now. Be in the sunset. Just keep going way out there. And just be in the history books as just maybe a one-liner. Comedian Monique wins the Academy Award for her role in Precious. Like, I'm supposed to just walk on out now and bow out gracefully. Like, you just like my life period don't matter. Like, I'm talking about my livelihood, my life. Like, I just supposed to go way back there like okay. Wow. And so now you have people who are trying to wheel you back into it, but they're trying to wheel you back into it in such a way to say, you know what? No, don't. You still talking about the Wiz? You talking about the wizard? You what? Like, no, just do this. I promise you it's gonna work out if you just do it this way. Look what I got. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh no, we ain't holding nobody accountable because it's coming, but you got to do it this way in order for you to get it. Like, why don't you want to play our way? Now, for a person such as myself, I say, okay, well, I guess I'll play your way if you wouldn't build me up to put me down. Nobody wants to rock the boat. Nobody wants to rock the boat for the most part because it's like, well, if I side with Monique, my fan base, I might lose them. I might say something because, now, Monique is saying it's an African-American woman issue. What? It's an African-American woman issue? Well, it might be now. It might be now because she said I ain't going out there like that. I ain't going back to where I came from. I'm still in the industry. This is what I begged, scraped, and borrowed for. Like, I'm a comedian. I still want to do comedian things, and I still want to be in movies or considered for them. But now you're making that difficult for me? See, it's interesting when you just start opening up your eyes and you're looking around you and you're seeing what's going on. Things that you probably wasn't paying attention to in the beginning because you were just going along with the status quo, right? And so now you're looking like, wait a minute. Is it because you're blackballing me, as you say? Or is it because I'm an African-American woman now? Because, I got too many dynamics going on here. The things that, I knew would be difficult for me as an African-American comedian coming up. I just understood that. We all had that story. We got to start, from the bottom up and work our way up. I understood that part. I understand just life in general comes with some high highs and some low lows. That's just life. You live long enough, you experience some of those. But here I am, and now you're saying I'm difficult? And all I want to do is work. Oh, you don't want me to be cautious now about my dealings with people because I've dealt with a couple of big wigs over here. And I tell you what, you don't want me to do that. Because now that I'm realizing that all these other things going on, and I see this. So now even with the smallest things, because you understand what I'm saying. He goes to and fro. The devil goes to and fro, seeking and trying to figure out who he can devour. It don't matter where he's going. He just goes to and fro. So here I am where I am, and he's even trying to come in over here. Oh no, you going nah, no thank you, thanks, no thanks. I don't want that. You being difficult. What you mean I'm being difficult? I don't want that. Oh, this person is pulling the strings for you. Maybe, maybe not. But I do see that something is not quite right in the pudding. I want it. So no, I'm not taking the money. I mean, I'm not taking the award, and I'm not just leaving, just being another maybe one or two sentences in the history books. I don't want that either. I'm going by my way. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. But now I see you and want to let that go. So now I got to deal with this. So now what has turned into an issue about accountability, like holding people responsible for what they said and what they did and what I don't like, now it's spilling over and I can't call which one is which. So yeah. If I'm looking at my other counterparts and they getting this, that, and the other, I'm looking at me. I don't want that either. You know what? I've been to the tippy top. I've been to the tippy top. So I don't want that either. How many more of these I have to get? I have one. Don't the perks come with it? How dare you? Mm. Mm-hmm. I, I'm wrapping this up. I'm wrapping this up. Got about 8 minutes. I normally do 30 minutes, but this was getting so good. I was going to let it go ahead on and go over into an hour. And I'm thinking about now, just in this moment in time, I am. I'm thinking about in this moment in time, how many people really and truly, industry and the like, who just really pretty much reached out and just said, "Sister, I love you." That's it. Forget everything else. I love you. You didn't have to say anything else, but you know what? I love you. But of course, it's the industry, it's people. One thing that I've learned about people, and I'm here to tell you, the Lord has let me learn that the hard way. Let me tell you about people. I'm gonna help you out because this here is good. This is the lesson. We got all the way here to get to the lesson, and I'm gonna share with everybody. You ready? I'm gonna share with everybody the lesson I learned, and it was a heartbreaking lesson, but I learned it. Oh, I learned it. People can break their promises. Yes, they can. They can go back on their word. They can. It's their will. God gave it to them. Oh, God is not pleased when someone promised you something and they don't follow through with the promise. Not pleased. But they can. And so what I've had to do is that, you know what, I look at people now and they start, because you remember, see, I was the naive one where if somebody said something, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm going to do that, I just held them to the word. I didn't think a person had a reason not to be honest with me. about it. So when it was time to, make do on the word, that they promised, and they was like, well, no, but you said, yeah, but I had to do this for so and so, so and so. But you said you was gonna, it was me. I understand. So I understand because everybody needs something. So I understand that Susie Q and Ding Dong needed it, whatever that was. But you promised me. That's the difference. See, everybody needs something right now today. Everybody somewhere, they need something. But seeing someone in need and helping them and telling someone you're going to do it for them is a whole different ball game. You're only as good as your word. So I understand you gave it to Blojo and Ding Dong and Susie Q, and you helped them, and you did. But the thing that you gave to them is the thing you promised me, and that thing was important to me. You knew I needed it. Oh, I understand. You was torn between the two. Well, this here person, I'm just throwing out examples. I'm not saying, oh, but this here person is close to me. This is a friend. This is a family member. This is somebody of utmost importance. This here is somebody. This somebody. But you're nobody. Like I have in them. I'm looking at both of you, and I'm trying to figure out who's more important. No, it's not about who's more important. It's about who you promised. Who did you give your promise to? That's the one that should receive it. Is the one you made your promise to. But then again, people can change their word. They take it back. Oh, I take it back. So I pray for people in general, and I just simply say is I pray that you never lose a theme. You never lose a theme when it comes to a person. You never miss a theme. That's it. I pray you never miss a theme. Even when someone promises you something and they don't make do on that, I pray you never miss a thing. I receive that for myself, and you can have it if you want to. I pray you never miss a thing. And so here we are in this story. Okay, we made it good, right? We've made it good. We made good on it. Some of us have made amends. We done rolled this thing out long enough. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think I'm at the end. I think I've said all I've had to say about it. And I'm sure it's going to come up again. All the other things right now I think are totally irrelevant. Right now, and it's not a part of, there are some other things, I guess, kind of like going on. I saw another clip about something related to Monique saying, no longer to this, no longer to that. So, as it relates to maybe her marriage or something, but that has nothing to do with this story here. Yeah. Ooh, this is interesting. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. And remember over here at Pippin La View, we believe in putting our behind where our hearts desires to be. Ooh, the lesson here about putting you behind where your hearts desire to be, it can be kind of tough staying there. It can, especially when people trying to push you out and not making good on their words and everything. But continue to do what you do. You always also know that whenever I leave my mother's presence, she says to me, baby, remember I love you, but God loves you best. Ooh, love is the more excellent way in this story, isn't it? Love hides a multitude of fault. And on that note, I'll see you next video. Until then, you all know what y'all need to do. Take care of yourselves out there. Talk to you later.